What's going on, guys? So, welcome to Wrestling World. I'm Austin Boyer, and this is the Wrestling World podcast. Now, if you haven't heard the news and you were excited for Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, the fight has been postponed. And are we surprised, right? I mean, is it going to happen? Everybody's saying it's canceled. Everybody thinks it's canceled. No, guys. So here's the case. Mike Tyson has had a health scare. From what I'm hearing, it's an ulcer. And it's, probably would affect him fighting. So the best option is to postpone. And while many of us want to see Jake Paul get beat up, I'm not a fan of Jake Paul. I don't know anybody who is. We want Mike to be in the best shape. Now, the question is this fight actually going to happen? Is this fight going to get postponed again? Will Jake Paul find a new replacement? I don't think the fight will happen. We've seen this before in Jake Paul's fights. We've seen Jake Paul back out of fights because of rehydration clauses. We've seen things happen. He was supposed to fight this person. It's not going to happen. He's fighting somebody else. It's an ongoing battle with Jake Paul. And we've also seen Jake Paul fight guys that are in their late 30s, retired MMA fighters. This test, however, is different. This is Mike Tyson. But it's just now been postponed. So it makes you think, are we actually going to see Mike Tyson fight again? Or was this just a big publicity stunt, as most people are saying? I don't think that Jake Paul would advertise something just for it not to happen. I feel like Mike Tyson isn't dropping out of this fight. I think that even if the fight is postponed, and which it is, that regardless of what condition Mike is in, it probably won't get postponed a second time. Mike's going to go in there, good shape or bad shape, and fight Jake Paul for the sake of his legacy. And I'm not a big fan of this fight. As much as I'm a Mike Tyson fan, is it the right decision? Should he go and fight Jake Paul with all his health issues going on now? No. Should Jake Paul fight Mike Tyson? No. I think Jake has more to lose, of course. Got to think of it this way. If Jake wins, okay, then you beat a man who is in his 60s and just got over a medical issue. If Jake loses, he loses to a 60-year-old man and also a boxer. But not just a boxer, one of the best boxers in the world. So to me, this is a lose-lose situation for Jake Paul. Now, there are rumors of Logan Paul stepping in, KSI maybe stepping in to fight Jake Paul. I would much rather see KSI versus Jake Paul than Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul because, one, the fight with KSI and Jake Paul would make much more sense. KSI is really not that good of a boxer, but he is a boxer. A YouTube so-called boxer, whatever, but he's still a boxer. And he's around the same age as Jake Paul, which is something that I and many people have been saying. Jake Paul needs to fight someone his own age. Stop fighting retired MMA fighters. Stop fighting retired boxers who are coming in just for a payday. Like Ryan Borland, when he fought Ryan Borland. Everybody knew how that fight was going to go. When he fought Ben Askren, everybody knew. When he fought Nate Robinson, which was a basketball player, everybody knew. Stop fighting people. Stop picking your fights. And if you're going to pick your fights, don't pick people that are 40, 50 years old. I mean, I got to give Jake credit. He's wanting to fight Mike Tyson, but is it going to happen? Could we see KSI versus Jake Paul? I would much rather see that than to see anything, than to see Jake Paul fight somebody older and to risk Mike Tyson's health. And some of you might even say Jake's a coward for even continuing with the fight. Jake says he's going to go full force on Mike Tyson. Who knows? I don't even know how the fight got sanctioned. Probe out, I guess, right? But it's wild. I don't know. Y'all think this fight's going to happen? We're going to see brother versus brother? KSI versus Jake? What are your thoughts, guys? For one, I feel like this fight's going to happen. My mind says yes. My heart says no. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. But just knowing Mike Tyson, knowing that he doesn't want to let his fans down, knowing that he's fighting for, boxing again, he's wanting to make that comeback with an actual pro fight. Because if you think about it, his last fight with Roy Jones Jr. was an exhibition. They weren't even allowed to knock each other out. So this is really Mike Tyson's first fight back, first legitimate pro boxing fight back in years. And my guess is he's fighting for much more than just a pro fight. He's fighting for his legacy. He's fighting to knock Jake Paul out. So regardless of his health, Mike's probably going to do the best he can to get out there and win. And it depends if they let him fight, regardless of how serious this health condition is. The fact that they didn't cancel the fight makes me think that we may still see it, but I don't know. But what are your thoughts, guys? Do you think this fight's going to happen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like and sub button, and I'll see you soon.